The meaning of healthy, that word and just which foods can bear that label, was at the center of a public meeting hosted by the Food and Drug Administration in Maryland. It's an argument that dates back to a few years ago, when the FDA declared the Kind company couldn't label their bars as healthy because they contained too much fat. In response, Kind filed a petition objecting to the department's health standards, which were established in 1993, and some argue have not kept up with new dietary research. The FDA has since reversed its decision for Kind, although the healthy label still does not appear on the bars, but the problem goes much farther than just one product. Many cereals, for example, are allowed to use the healthy label because they contain whole grains, despite all the sugar that comes in them. Some food purists have pushed for the healthy label to only be allowed on non-processed foods like fruits, like vegetables, and yet others don't think the FDA should put a healthy label on anything because it will never be able to keep up with the research. Joining me for all this are Joan Salge Blake. She teaches at Boston University's College of Health and Rehab Sciences. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
And Frederick Douglass Opie. So nice to meet you, Professor of History and Foodways at Babson College. He's host of the Fred Opie Show Sports Podcast and the Fred Opie Show Food Podcast. Got to check them out. If I said to you you're doing an amazing job, would you be offended or not?
Not at all.
You've only heard that 400 times. I know. Okay. In any case, you're testifying today in front of the FDA instead of being here. What do you tell them?
About the labels, I think that the Kind bar, first of all, I think is a product. I think it's a great product. The things that they have out there that people say are healthy, if they're compared with the Kind bar, it's a slam dunk. I'm going with the Kind bar as far as a product. It's all natural, low in calories, low in sugar, low in fat. So I don't even understand what the controversy is. Anything, I think it's great for the people who make that product because more people are going to check it out.
About it, exactly. So what would you tell them? If you were testifying today, what would your line have been?
Right. This is what happened. You know, these healthy terms were decades ago, and when we were focusing all on fat. So what they did is when they made this healthy claim, they said the product has to have 3 grams of fat or less. And so what happened is that food companies started to reformulate all of their products. So you had these companies that took cookies, right, and took the fat out of cookies. And if you take the fat out of cookies, you end up with a hockey puck. I mean, you have to put something back, and it's sugar.
Love hockey pucks, by the way. Can I tell you, my attitude is, you both seem almost hopeful. It's hopeless to me. One day, I'm the consumer. I'm not the expert. One day, you can't eat fats. Oh, you can eat some kind of fats. One day, you can't do wine. You can do wine. Meat's horrible. I mean, peanut butter. Almost every day, so how are we supposed, even if the FDA does its job, how are we supposed to keep up with all this stuff?
This is a call for culinary literacy. Talk about financial literacy. This is culinary literacy. People need to start reading and stop depending on sound bites from the latest person out there trying to sell them something. If you take the time to actually read, you can figure it out. It's just like financial plans. You got to read.
My 401k is drained, so I'm not the one to talk to. So you buying this? You're nodding your head in agreement.
Let me tell you something. We got to go back to food. We got to start eating food.
What does that mean?
An apple. We have to do a real apple, a banana,
like Tom
fruit.
Brady or something?
No, avocados are good. But we have to go back to cooking food, making dinners, making your lunch, going back to the way you were raised. That's when you had
We're
real
pretty busy,
food.
People are pretty busy, and that's the allure of things in packages like all this
Let me
crap.
tell you, they're not that busy. You know what? They're standing in line waiting to get coffee. That's why they don't have time. They're time impaired. So it's cheaper and easier for you to make your own food.
Okay, so who was the guy? Somebody here said culinary literacy. Oh, it was you. So why don't we take a quiz, okay?
Okay.
Which has more calories? The healthy yogurt pretzels, it says healthy on it. Do you see that? Or the Boston cream donut from Dunkin' Donuts? Which has more calories?
I think they might be even.
I would like to tell you the yogurt pretzels have 420 calories, Boston cream donut only 300. Which has more fat? The yogurt or the...
Oh, that yogurt. That's coconut.
Yogurt has 18 fat. Boston cream donut has fewer. This is my point.
Right.
How is a normal person supposed to be able to figure out that this is not as bad as this when both of them are pretty horrible for you?
I think it's more than just calories.
You want this, by the way, or you
Are they
don't?
empty calories? You want calories that have nutrients in it and not just calorie counting. And that's where I think the culinary literacy comes in. what are you consuming and what are you getting out of those calories? Because a lot of times when people just counting calories, you're taking all kinds of other artificial stuff and it's going to cause problems down the road.
But you're talking, Fred, you're talking almost about personal responsibility kind of thing,
Absolutely.
right? Meaning, so don't depend on the FDA,
No.
don't depend on government.
The problem's in the mirror. It's you. You got to read.
So what are we supposed to be teaching kids when they're little? I'm serious about
Absolutely.
this. Teach them when they go
The
up.
same way my kids need to learn how to handle their money, they got to learn how to handle their food.
So would you be upset if the FDA disappeared, or you think it should work in conjunction with our...
I'm not calling for an end of the FDA. I'm not at all. But I'm not calling for the end of parents taking responsibilities of teaching their kids.
You know, and you think most parents, by the way, I don't even know if you're saying this, most parents who I know have no idea.
Most doctors
about
have no
anything.
idea. They
Right.
get very little training in nutrition and stuff like that.
And the problem is, it's all role modeling. So if you didn't grow up in a home where mom and dad cooked and put dinner on the table and ate as a family, which is a whole nother show, you're not going to role model. If you grew up in a home where it's takeout all the time or a lot of
Broadcast corned beef hash out of a can.
Right.
My favorite food, too. Really good for you. So can we get back to the FDA just for 1 second? I'm one of these sort of hybrid kind of guys. I want the government to serve some role while we do this personal response. What is the appropriate role? They have virtually no enforcement power anyway, do they? Do they need enforcement power for the government to be a real player in our healthier lives, or no?
Well, you want to make sure that the foods that you're eating, if they are highly processed, are safe to eat. So I want something to make
beyond
sure.
safety, obviously safety.
Right.
Should they even be telling us whether something is healthy or not, or stay out of the business?
You know, we're going to go back to what Fred said, 2020 vision. Read. That's where the Nutrition Fact Panel is on there, and you can see what's in there and what's going to be. By July 2018, we're going to start seeing added sugar. And I'm telling you, when that gets on the label, people are going to be aghast in the supermarket when they find out the candy or the high sugary cereal, how much really is in it.
And you think we can break bad habits if we are culinarily literate, Fred, is your take?
I think the most important thing any parent can do is learn how to read a label and teach your kid to read a label.
Right.
What's coming first is in the most amount. Is it artificial? Is it not? Understand what sugar is, artificial sugar is. I think those kind of basic things. Are you consuming things that are actually full of nutrients? That's more important to me than full of calories.
So shall you eat the Boston cream after the show or no?
Absolutely not.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
I'm taking it with
I
you.
knew you would, Jen. Great to see you. Great to meet you.
I'll take the
Fred.
Kind bar.
Thanks so much. Great to see you both.